Alright, it's your boy ShellDog7. Welcome to the stream today. Gonna do a little stream here real quick. Right now basically what I'm deciding to do is I love playing Rainbow Six Siege, but one of the things that I have an issue with for me is as you get a lot more operators, is you got your operators that you main, you got your operators that you use, to be good in the game, whether you're playing competitively or not, or even if you're not playing competitively enough in your mind with your friends. And what usually happens though, alright, as we take a look at the operators and you say to yourself, when this game first started, and I've been playing this game since the test beta, you had your Pathfinder operators. So the operators started here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You had 18 operators. Now there's what? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. There's 62 operators now on their way to wanting to get to 100. So you got to ask yourself, how, if you're playing competitively, you narrow these down to what works in the meta now, what operators are right for the situation, what operators you can use all the time, what do you need when you go into these rounds, hard breach support, what have you, to most competitive players. But to players like me that just like to just play the game like, just like to play the game, just to play the game, um, you know, it could be a little bit overwhelming to the standpoint is I want to get the maximum amount that I can from the game. So how do we do this? So for me, I think something that I've come up with in the past was like, hey, I'm just gonna play all operators that I have, you know, what do you call it, legendary uniforms too. That's a certain amount of operators I could play with, or play with operators that I just go, oh, well, I haven't played these two, just play these two. But then I just came up with a good idea where let's go back in time. Let's go back and revisit all of these different seasons, one at a time, every time I stream, with the focus of, not just playing those two operators or one operator that came into the season of whatever season we're on, but at least giving you the history, a little bit of history and a little reminiscing, revisiting, as well as me implementing them more into what the gameplay of into the gameplay of me playing the game currently in the stream. So I started with Skull Rain, but I didn't come up with the idea until last night. So we're gonna go back and revisit the first DLC, which was the Frost Operators. Okay, and if you remember the first DLC, if you were with us back then in 2016, let me pull it up here because I have my log history PDF that I downloaded online. I forgot who to give the credit to, but if we click on Black Ice, was the inaugural season of Rainbow Six Siege was released on February 2nd back in 2016. Operation introduced the new map Frozen Yacht in Canada. It also introduced two Canadian operators from the Special Force Joint Task Force 2, Frost and Buck. Frost is defending operator who can use a device similar to the Bear Trap. Is defending operator who can use a similar to the Bear Trap, incapacitate enemies. While Buck is an attacking operator that used the key that can switch from shotgun to AR or marksman rifle. Okay, so that was your basic information. As we go into it now, currently, to be honest, consequently, Frost was we'll start on the defensive side. Frost was one of my main characters. Obviously, she was the new one back then, so we ended up using her quite a bit. New operator. Hey, look at me. I got the new operator. Hey, man, what's going on, Draco? Sorry I missed you last night. I did a 7-hour stream right now, but right now I'm going over the new thing that I'm doing right now, where I'm revisiting the new DLCs in chronological order. And whatever DLC I'm on for that day that I'm streaming, I make sure to concentrate and focus on actually playing with them quite a bit, regardless of what scheme, situation, whatever, to try and get myself used to playing with different operators on a more consistent basis, especially in casual. So we land on last night. I was spotlighting Skull Rain, but I didn't come up with the idea until last night. So we're gonna go back and do it chronologically, where we start at Frost. So just giving people out there, we got 3 viewers. It's good. I will be here watching as I'm studying. Oh, okay, cool. Hopefully, I give you some good content, but not too much good content where it interrupts you from studying. um, but as you can see, we go back with Frost. I have to look at her stats. There was a time in the game where you could actually go in the game, and you could go in and, um, look at how many times you used her, how many kills and stuff. You could do it in the game. Now you got to go on, you got to go on the website Ubisoft to do that, which I'll do later on today because I'm curious to see how many hours I have overall playing this game, which I think is like well over 250 hours. But oh hey, look, my KD has it right now after 2 matches, ranking matches. Never been so high before, a 1 and a 9. That'll probably change, but I like to see steady improvement. So for her, the thing that I liked about her, not only was she new, I was using her a lot back then in 2016, and she ended up being a main staple for me in playing multiplayer. When I started playing multiplayer, after I was rank level 71, we'll get into that at another time. Why I didn't start multiplayer till after rank 71. I just last night, Draco, got in an epic pack the blue ice for her weapon here, the C1, which is pretty cool. So it comes with the C1 was her, her submachine gun there, and it also came with the Super 90. The Super 90 back then was like, and still kind of is now, but really back then was the one shotgun, the newest shotgun, and it was like a sniper shotgun that would just shoot across the whole darn screen. I don't know what's going on in here, but we got to change that right now. There we go, if I want to use that later on. We could change that to the actual, I don't know where that is, but she's got a different charm to go with that new Prime uniform that I got on her right now. I gotta find it. Can I find it? There it is. Paracoat. There we go. I need to put that in the game and on her thing as well. So getting back to it anyway, so she was one that I really used a lot, and I liked her trap. You would call to know her as an operator, as a trap operator later. That term wasn't used back then too much. It was just, hey, look at this operator. It's got a welcome mat, and I used to get a lot of people welcome mats, and probably after 2 years of playing with her a lot as other operators got introduced, I kind of faded away from her, and I haven't been able to really get back to her. So it's going to be good to use her now, today. And when I stream later on tonight, I'll still be spotlighting that. I've been wanting hers. I got the AR-33 Black Ice the other day. Oh, man, that's sweet, dude. I don't have that one. Black Ice has been coming very slow lately. I've only gotten 2 Black Ices in like the last 6-7 months. When I got the UMPK or the UMK or whatever, the weapons for a Pulse and Castle. It's the only other one I got. So that was her one. That was her one there, Super 90. This she would not have at the time. She would have another pistol. I don't know. I can't remember when she got the double shotgun. Probably like a year ago added to her, but she didn't have that at first. Great utility, obviously. No bulletproof cam. That wasn't existing back then. We had a deployable shield, and I believe she had barbed wire, because I remember using the welcome mats with the barbed wire to cover the welcome mats. People are still getting hit with welcome mats now in today's meta. It's because they're not droning. I mean, that's pretty much the deal. Like, I mean, welcome mats, you shouldn't be getting hit, or they're well placed in obvious areas that you never think to drone. But if you're doing a good drone, you should know where welcome mats are. She only has 3. We're not gonna get into her parents. So the bio here. Here's her bio. There are 2 things human bodies need most in survival situation: water and hope. She was raised in Vancouver, British Columbia, enlisted with the Royal Canadian Air Force and her 18th birthday. At the Royal Military College in Canada, RMC, she graduated top class upon completion of her bachelor's degree of officer training. Sang was stationed on Canada's west coast at CFB Esquimalt with the Joint Rescue Coordination Center Victoria, the JRCC Victoria. From there, she served on the primary search and rescue response team recovering BC and Yukon territory. So definitely a lot of Canada right there because that's where they're from. Um, how much of this am I going to read? I'm not going to go through all of it. I like to read the first stuff. I'll probably read, I'll read training and notes. Training: Royalty Military College, Kingston, bachelor's degree in science, mechanical engineering. Regular officer training plan: Air Combat Systems Officer Course, Canadian Force School, Search and Rescue, Canadian Forces Air Crew Selection Center. Relevant experience: JRCC Victoria, North Shore Rescue, Operation Enduring Freedom. How about that? Operation Enduring Freedom. I actually served in Operation Enduring Freedom. That's in modern day Iraq. 2003, I served in 2003, 2004, and then went back again for a stint in 2005, 2006. Crazy to see that. Operation Black Ice. Um, Evaluation lead. Specialist Lou Lesion with Specialist Frost. Okay, so she has some dealings with Caviera and Lesion. Alright, so we're not going to read these whole bios. They're long. Don't want to waste time. Need to get some gameplay on. Gotta leave in about an hour and some change. But I'll try and keep that the same when I go through these. Is I'll read like the background part. And then as far as psychological reports and stuff, you guys can read that. Training and relative experience. Alright. So now we're going to go over to the Buck side, which is the attacking operator. Now Buck has become a real important part in my maining for the most part. I never used him when he first came out. I never used him at all. I didn't start using him until probably 2 years ago, which is probably the worst mistake possible, because for him, regardless of whether you have his assault rifle or AR, and I tend to use the AR, the assault rifle for me has a very high recoil for me, so like I can't control it. Although I'm not gonna lie, like I'm sure it's not the worst thing to control. But the cool thing is, regardless of what you use, his special or his unique ability is using the I forgot what key it's called, but it's, the zip key, the something key, not an Allen key, and you can cycle from shotgun to whatever your primary weapon is. So the good thing about him is you could play vertical, up or down, which I wouldn't discover doing until like maybe a year and a half ago, when I actually started really getting focused into the game and seeing how people use them. You know, go up vertical through through the floors and stuff, soft floors, or go down. He had grenades at first, and I think he's cycled through either smokes or stuns, but soft breach didn't come in till like probably a year ago. And now they've added recently that you can have 2 of them now instead of 1, so that wasn't even an option then. But that's basically the gist with him. Bio. Background. Follow me, I know a shortcut. Coke comes from a long line of military veterans and served in the Canadian Reserves throughout university. After graduating with a degree in criminology, he enlisted full-time in the Canadian Armed Forces and was assigned to the military police. He specialized training in high-risk situations, both long and close range, marine rescue, and armed ship. Gording made him a strong candidate for the RCMP emergency response team. Even after his acceptance in the world renowned specialist operations joint JTF2 Coat has continued to expand his repertoire of skills, including high-speed tactical driving on both land and water, hazardous material management, which I know a little bit about, and hostage rescue, which I know nothing about. When under stress, he exhibits self-discipline and adaptive thinking. His friendly and initiative leadership style makes him one of the more flexible team members, along with French, English. Coat speaks fluent Pashto and is currently enrolled in Kenyan Mohawk studies of personal interest. I don't even know what fluent Pashto is. I have no clue what that is. Ah, skeleton key. Thanks, Draco, for letting me remind me. It's called the skeleton key. Good deal. We're not going to go through a psychological thing. Training. Université de Quebec. I've gone to Quebec and Montreal. Nice places to go to in Canada. Obviously before the pandemic. Bachelor of Arts, Criminology, Canadian Force, Military Police, CFMP, RCMP, Emergency Response Team like Frost. Notes. Devices, the Skeleton Key, SK412. Operator Specialist, Buck is his cosign name. Evaluation Lead Specialist, Frost. Alright, so Dina Lynn is Frost's real name. And Coat is Sebastian Coat is Buck's real name. Okay. So there you have it. So now that we've gone through all that stuff, let's get into some gameplay today. It's not going to be hard for me to implement them into my playing style for what I do because you can use Buck on a lot of maps and in a lot of site situations for attacking. I'm not that skilled at attacking. Attacking is still something that I'm kind of learning, or just I like to move slow. Right. I don't know what that is. Spanish coffee, good deal. So for me, I'm not really much of a rusher. He's not too much a rusher. He kind of works in my playing style to a certain degree. Frost is a hard anchor for me personally, how I use her. I think that's what she was intended. I don't roam too much, so when I play her on defense, these operators will be well comfortable in my background. You should have seen me last night. We can play later if you'd be down. Yeah, we need to play later. Man, I told you I did a 7-hour stream and I saw you, but when I came back from my break, you were gone. I was like, oh man. You should have seen me playing with Cav yesterday. Like I couldn't play her as much because when I wanted to play her yesterday, like I didn't get a chance to really play her because other people picked her. But it was funny, man. Like just being able to sneak up behind people, and then I'm like, oh man, I should have waited just a little bit longer because like there's a person right behind me playing against a team that was like, they were basically just following in a line for the most part. And I was like, what the heck? Also in the middle of doing a workout too, so I have to leave every once in a while to get the workout on. Oh yeah, no doubt.